Loyalty from the organization that you work for, it's gone. Loyalty to the organization that you work for, it's probably gone too. I'm gonna tell you why I opened a bike shop. So first and foremost, I didn't get fired. So I wanna make that clear because I have to be ambiguous about some things here, but I spent 15 years with a government organization, and essentially I was asked to make a choice, and I decided I was gonna go a different route. And this is the route that I decided to go. My route is not just being a bike mechanic, but owning and operating a bike shop. It's completely different from the line of work I came from. I actually have a master's in public administration with an emphasis on healthcare administration. And my undergrad is in history with a minor in military history. So initially, my plan was to be a teacher. But then just kind of by happenstance and, people being really kind and helping me out, I got into healthcare administration, which I did enjoy. But after 15 years, I was asked to make a choice, and this is the choice that I made, was to do something else. So I might be the only bike mechanic with a master's in public administration out there. But I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I've been working on a client's fleet of bikes for a while now. And he brings in bikes, he has a lot of them. He brings in bikes, and really nice guy. And he came in and he was just not himself. And I could tell right away he was not himself. And I don't know him personally, but I know him as a client. And, I asked him what's going on? And he was kind of not reluctant to tell me, but he was like, I don't know why I'm telling you all this, but I think I'm gonna get fired. And I've been with my company for 25 years. And that made me really sad because the days of working for the same company, retiring with that company, getting a pension, that's all gone. The loyalty from these corporations, it's gone. If it ever was there. Your loyalty to these organizations is also gone. That was my plan. I spent 15 years with the same organization, and you just never know who's gonna come in and run that organization. You don't know what's gonna happen. And so that was the case for this client as well, is there was a new sheriff in town and things were gonna change. And he thinks he's gonna be on the chopping block and just real concerned. Sometimes those kinds of situations are a blessing because it gives you an opportunity to think about, then what? If you're gonna lose your job, then what? What are you gonna do? Go back to another organization that is gonna give you the same lack of loyalty? Are you gonna restart? I empathized with him a lot. And reason that I'm talking about this is I have this conversation a lot, particularly with dudes, is they come in and they'll tell me one of two things. They'll tell me that they wish that they were doing something like this, or something to the effect of that they wish that they could take the leap and do something different because they are so dissatisfied with what they're doing for work, dissatisfied with their home life balance, just dissatisfied, but they're not making any change. A lot of times because they're paid well enough to stay put, just well enough to stay put, or they fear that it's a bad economy out there and they don't know what they're gonna do, and they don't know if they have what it takes to start something themselves. And so what they tell me, and I know this sounds pretentious, but they say, they tell me that they're envious of what I'm doing, and they don't envy me. They envy that I was able to break free. And I'm proud of myself for that. It's scary. It's freaking scary. But no risk, no reward, right? And I guess my question to anyone watching this is that you? And if it is you, what's stopping you? Do you need a push? Do you need a nudge? Can you be your own push, your own nudge? Sometimes that's what you need to break free, to have even an opportunity to think about what you would do if you had to break free, by force or not. I've actually, through starting Downrange Bike Works, not only have I met a lot of people who have had this conversation with me, but also a lot of people who did break free and that they are out there, they're putting themselves out there and doing the thing. They're doing the thing. And that takes a lot of guts. Since opening Downrange Bike Works, the amount of respect I've had for small businesses that are surviving and thriving is immense. It takes so much effort, work, blood, sweat, and tears, and know-how, competency to make something work. When you work for a corporation or a big organization, sometimes you have those days that what you're doing doesn't matter, or a day where you're like, I'm gonna take it easy today, I'm just gonna do the bare minimum, or you're working on some spreadsheet or some widget that's gonna go nowhere, but you have to do it. Yeah, there's nothing like that when you own your own business. Nothing like that. Everything you do matters. Where you put your time matters. The effort that you put in matters. How you treat people matters. And I think it's like really, really important. But when you're doing something like this, like you're the person, right? So it does take a lot of guts. No risk, no reward. So huge shout out to anybody who owns and operates their own business. And to those who are watching that want to break free, like, what's stopping you? Maybe stop to think. If you're not in that situation where you have to make that choice, what would you actually do if you had to make that choice? And would you actually do it? What's stopping you? Maybe think about breaking free. And if you do, good luck, because I'm rooting for you.